On the planet Grovecto, evolution played no favorites. Known as a Class X Deathworld, it birthed species so resilient, so savage, that the Galactic Council had long ago marked the world as untouchable. No diplomatic contact, no colonization, no rescue missions dotted the top of Grovecto's food chain stood the Vorkul, a monstrous bipedal species of muscle, bone armor, and instinct. Each stood over 10 feet tall, weighing nearly half a ton. Their claws could rip through starship hulls. Their hides were resistant to plasma burns, and they were born into a cycle of endless violence. To survive, a Vorkul had to kill even its siblings. They were feared, studied from orbit but never engaged, until humanity arrived. The Vorkul Elder, Threxen of the Ninth Spine, watched from a rocky cliffside as strange silver ships descended from the sky. Smaller than any warship he had seen from the stars. No shields, no weapons visible, no honor. Foolish prey, he thought. Another galactic species thinking they could observe the Deathworld and survive long enough to report back. But these creatures were different. Commander Valeria Ross, leader of the first human exploration unit on Grovecto, stepped onto the scorched soil with a deep breath through her exofilter. Gravity's twice Earth's, radiation spiking, acid in the rain. We're definitely in the right place. Her team of 9, each wearing adaptive nano-armor, began scanning the area. The mission? Contact the Vorkul. Not for war. Not for conquest. For something more radical. Mutual evolution. Threxen charged without warning. He was a blur of red muscle. An obsidian armor as he tore through the trees like paper. Valeria's team snapped into defensive formation, but no weapons were drawn. She stepped forward alone, arms outstretched, helmet off. Threxen halted mid-lunge. This tiny being smiled. "You're fast," Valeria said calmly, wiping sweat from her brow. "Stronger than anything we've seen. I'm impressed." The Vorkul chieftain snarled. "You are meat," she chuckled. "You wouldn't be the first to say that. Most who did don't talk anymore." Over the next 6 days, humanity did the unthinkable. They survived Grovecto. Then they hunted in its jungles. Then uninvited they entered a Vorkul village and offered gifts: protein bricks, forged titanium, fire steel plasma tools, and something the Vorkul had never encountered: a children's book. Threxen watched the child of his tribe flip through it. Colorful pictures, stories, heroes. Peace. Disgusting. Fascinating. On the 10th day, a Vorkul warrior challenged a human to the right of proving. Private Manuel Ortega, a short, stocky man from Caracas, laughed when told he'd been picked. He stepped into the ring with no weapons, just upgraded nanofiber gloves. The Vorkul warrior roared, charged, and within moments found himself flipped, slammed, and locked in an Earth-style jiu-jitsu. He yielded. Gasp erupted from the tribe. The tiny creature had not killed. He had. Defeated without blood. From that moment, the Vorkul's transformation began. They started to mimic human techniques, learning not just how to fight, but how to train. Vorkul cubs began sparring with human children. Elders who once viewed books as weakness now demanded instruction in history, philosophy, and engineering. They watched documentaries about Earths, wars, art, cities, and the terrifying ingenuity of a species that had once been prey but clawed its way into galactic prominence through pure stubbornness and intellect. The Vorkul had thought themselves the peak of evolution. But humanity was something else: adaptable, insane, kind. And capable of shaping Deathworlds. With hope, Threxen stood beside Valeria one evening, overlooking a canyon where younglings from both species played. He spoke softly. "You do not conquer. You do not kneel. What are you?" She smiled. "We're just human. We meet monsters and teach them how to dance." Threxen's rumble sounded almost like laughter. For the first time, he said, "I wonder what my people might become if we stop surviving and start living." 1 year later, the Vorkul were accepted into the Galactic Council. Not as threats but as partners in peace. And in the Grand Hall, when asked who brokered the impossible alliance, the Vorkworld delegation simply gestured to a human child holding a drawing of Earth and Gravekthul side by side. Because the strongest Deathworld species had finally met humanity, and they were never the same again.